All right, so you know how we're always saying how much we love getting deep into a topic,
Yeah.
but sometimes you just don't have like hours to spend reading a whole book or watching a long documentary,
Right.
but you still want to, get a good grasp on something interesting.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're doing today in this deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
We recently had this really fascinating conversation about Mysore.
Yeah.
It's a city in Karnataka, India,
Beautiful place.
and we were just blown away by like all the different things that make it so special.
Yeah, it really has a lot going for it.
So we thought, let's pull out those core insights, those
Mhm.
golden nuggets from that conversation and share them with you all.
Like a concentrated dose of Mysore knowledge.
Exactly. So think of this as like a really rich but super efficient overview of what makes Mysore tick.
Okay.
We'll hit the history, the culture, the food scene,
The whole package.
the whole shebang.
I think people are going to be surprised by just how much depth and diversity this city has.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, we're talking centuries of history, a vibrant cultural scene that's still thriving today, amazing food that you really won't find anywhere else.
Plus a kind of a unique blend of like tradition and modernity.
Yeah, a balance that a lot of cities strive for.
Right.
And Mysore seems to have figured it out.
Okay, so let's actually jump into it.
Let's do it.
Why don't we start with the history?
Sounds good.
Mysore has this really long and complex past,
Oh, yeah.
going back like centuries, and the Wudiyar dynasty is like front and center in that story.
They were in power for a long time.
They were.
And their legacy is really woven into the fabric of the city.
Yeah, what's striking to me is not just how long they ruled, but the impact they had on the city. Like you can still see it everywhere,
Oh, absolutely.
especially in the architecture.
Their patronage was really instrumental in shaping the city's aesthetic.
Right.
Like they were big proponents of the Indo-Saracenic style, which is super unique.
I'm not that familiar with it.
So it's this really interesting fusion of Islamic and Hindu architectural elements. You see these really intricate details and grand structures that really capture the grandeur of their role.
I feel like when you say Mysore Palace, you're talking about like the ultimate example.
Oh, yeah. The Mysore Palace is like the crown jewel.
Right.
It's that iconic image that comes to mind when you think of Mysore.
Absolutely. It's just breathtaking.
The scale of it, the colors, the carvings, it's all incredibly impressive, and it really speaks to the Wudiyar's vision.
It wasn't just a palace. It was like a statement.
Right, a symbol of their power and influence.
And their commitment to art and culture.
Exactly. They were major patrons of the arts.
So, okay, we've got the Mysore Palace, but I
Yeah.
mean, we also talked about some other historical spots that are worth checking out.
Yeah, so we talked about the Jagan Mohan Palace.
Yes.
Which is really cool because it houses this incredible art gallery now.
Oh, nice.
And they have this collection of traditional Mysore paintings. And it's a really great way to kind of trace the evolution of art in the region.
I see.
You can see the different styles, the themes, the stories they were telling through their art.
So it's kind of like a window into the cultural changes over time.
Exactly. It's a different perspective on Mysore's history.
Now, what about the Chamundi Temple?
Ah, yes. The Chamundi Temple.
That's up on Chamundi Hills, right?
That's right. Perched high up on the hill overlooking the city.
That's got to have some amazing views.
Oh, the views are spectacular.
Right.
You can see the whole of Mysore spread out before you.
Wow.
It's a great spot for photos,
I bet.
but it's also a really important religious site. So whether you're interested in the spiritual aspect or just want those panoramic views,
Right.
it's definitely worth a visit.
Okay, so we've got a good sense of the history.
Yeah, Mysore's got a lot of stories to tell.
But it's not just about the past, right?
Absolutely not.
Mysore has this really vibrant present-day culture, too.
It's a city that's very much alive and breathing culture.
And it's not just like preserved in museums or anything.
No, it's happening all around you.
So what are some of the key things that stand out when we talk about Mysore's culture today?
Well, Mysore is especially known for its classical dance forms.
Oh, right, like Bharatanatyam?
Exactly. Bharatanatyam is huge there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have all sorts of other traditional dances as well.
And then there's the Mysore Dussehra Festival.
Ah, yes, Dussehra.
I feel like when we were talking about that, you were getting really excited.
It's quite a spectacle.
Tell me about it.
So imagine 10 days.
10 days.
10 full days of celebrations.
Wow.
The whole city comes alive.
Yeah, you were describing these processions with like elephants.
Oh, yeah, the elephants are a major part of it. They're all decked out in these ornate decorations.
Ah.
And then you have the music, the dancing performances from all over India.
So it's like a massive cultural event.
It's a huge draw for tourists both from within India and internationally.
It sounds pretty incredible.
It really is. And it's amazing to see how they managed to blend these centuries-old traditions with a very contemporary energy.
Right. It's not just like a historical reenactment or something.
No, it's a living, breathing festival.
It's cool how they're able to keep those traditions going.
Yeah, it speaks to their commitment to their heritage.
So beyond Dussehra, though,
Right.
it sounds like traditional music art crafts.
Yeah.
All of that is really woven into the fabric of daily life.
Oh, yeah. You see it everywhere you go.
We were talking about these local artisans who are making all sorts of amazing things.
Right. And often using techniques that have been passed down through generations.
Wow.
So you can find these beautiful handmade items, whether it's textiles or pottery or jewelry.
Yeah.
And it's really special because you're buying directly from the people who made them.
Yeah, you're supporting these local artists and craftspeople.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered history, we've covered culture. Now let's talk about something I'm always personally very interested in.
Okay. Yes, the food.
Mysore has some seriously delicious and unique dishes.
It does.
And there are two that I really want to hear more about.
Okay.
Mysore masala dosa and Mysore pak.
Classics.
So for those of us who are familiar with like a regular masala dosa,
Yeah.
what makes the Mysore masala dosa special?
So it's all about the filling.
Okay.
It's the spiced potato mixture. But they use this specific blend of spices that gives it a really distinct flavor. And often they'll also spread this red chili garlic chutney on the inside of the dosa.
So it's got like a little kick to it.
It does.
Yeah, okay, that sounds amazing.
It's a must try if you're in Mysore.
I'm adding it to my list.
Good choice.
Okay, now, Mysore pak.
Mysore pak, oh man.
That's a sweet dish, right?
It is. It's a very sweet dish.
I have no idea what it is, though.
So imagine like a fudge,
Okay.
but incredibly rich, melt-in-your-mouth texture,
Okay.
made from gram flour sugar and a generous amount of ghee.
Ghee, that clarified butter. Okay, so it's very buttery, very sweet, has this kind of porous texture,
Interesting.
and just a really deep, nutty sweetness.
And you're making me hungry.
I know, right?
So the dosa and the Mysore pak, those are like must-haves.
Definitely got to try those.
They really showcase the local flavors.
For sure.
All right, moving on from the delicious food.
Okay.
We also talked about these beautiful gardens and parks that are in and around Mysore.
Oh, yeah. Mysore's quite a green city.
And the Brindavan Gardens, those were like a highlight.
The Brindavan Gardens are a sight to behold.
Tell me about them.
So they're located a little outside the city, but they're definitely worth the trip.
Okay.
They have these meticulously planned terraces,
Okay.
all these vibrant flower displays.
Beautiful.
And in the evening, they have these musical fountains
Oh, cool.
where the water dances to the music.
That sounds really relaxing.
It is. It's a very popular spot for families.
I can see why.
You know, people go there to unwind, to enjoy the scenery.
Yeah.
So it's like a nice little escape from the city.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got history, we've got culture, we've got food, beautiful gardens.
Yeah.
But Mysore isn't just about those things, right?
There's more.
It's also a major center for education.
That's a really important aspect of Mysore. You know, it has a really strong reputation for its educational institutions.
Yeah, you were talking about how there's so many schools,
Yeah.
colleges, universities,
Tons of them.
and research institutions as well.
Oh, yeah. It's a hub for research and innovation.
So I imagine that has a big impact on the local economy, too.
Oh, absolutely.
What are some of the key industries in Mysore?
So we talked about information technology,
Right.
which is booming all over India.
Mm.
Manufacturing is also big in Mysore.
Okay.
And, of course, tourism.
Right, because of all the amazing things we've been talking about.
Exactly. All the history, the culture, the nature.
And the food.
It all draws people in.
What's interesting to me is that it sounds like the government is really proactive about developing the economy.
Yeah, they're investing in infrastructure.
Right.
Trying to attract businesses.
But it also sounds like they're doing it in a way that's sensitive to the city's heritage.
That's key.
It's not just about growth at all costs.
No, it's about finding that balance
Right.
between progress and preservation.
So I'm curious, what's it like to live in Mysore?
Well, from everything we've learned, the people there are incredibly friendly and welcoming.
Okay.
They have a very relaxed pace of life.
That sounds nice.
It's a very laid-back atmosphere.
And they seem to really value their traditions.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, celebrating festivals, upholding those customs.
Yeah, it's a big part of their identity.
So it's like they've got this nice blend of the modern and the traditional.
Exactly. It's that unique mix that makes Mysore so special.
Now, practically speaking, how do people get around?
Mysore has a pretty good transportation network.
Okay.
The roads and railways are well connected, so you can get in and out of the city easily.
And what about within the city?
So they have a pretty good local bus system,
Yeah.
and there are always plenty of auto rickshaws and taxis around.
So it's easy to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, and they're also focusing more on pedestrian-friendly infrastructure.
Oh, that's good.
Better sidewalks, more cycling paths.
So it's becoming more walkable.
Exactly. It's all about creating a more livable city.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here with Mysore.
We have.
But there's one last thing I want to touch on.
Okay.
The nature.
Ah, yes, the nature.
Mysore is surrounded by this incredible natural beauty.
It is, it's not just the city itself that's appealing. It's
Okay.
also the surrounding areas.
Yeah, we talked about those wildlife sanctuaries that are nearby.
Oh, yeah, those are fantastic.
You can see all sorts of amazing animals and birds.
It's a great way to experience the biodiversity of the region.
And then there are the Chamundi Hills.
Always the Chamundi Hills.
Right. They offer those great views of the city.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also great for
Hiking. Picnic.
just enjoying the fresh air.
Yeah, just being in nature.
So again, it's like that blend of nature, culture, and history all in one place.
Mysore really does have it all.
So to kind of sum up everything we've talked about,
Yeah.
Mysore is a city that appeals to a wide range of interests.
Absolutely.
Whether you're into history, culture, food, nature,
There's something for everyone.
it's got this unique blend of old world charm and modern amenities.
That's what makes it so compelling.
And there's this emphasis on creating a peaceful and well-organized environment.
Right. It's a very livable city.
So it's clear that Mysore has figured out a lot of things that other cities are still struggling with.
Yeah, it's a great example of how to balance growth with preservation.
So this brings up an interesting question for you, the listener.
Okay.
As the world is modernizing rapidly, how can cities effectively balance preserving their heritage with embracing contemporary development?
That's a big question.
It is.
A lot of cities are grappling with that. Right.
How do you hold on to your past while also moving forward?
So what can we learn from Mysore's approach?
Yeah, what are they doing right?
And what are other cities around the world doing to navigate this tricky but crucial balance?
It's a conversation worth having.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah,
Well, this has been an awesome deep dive into Mysore.
I agree.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.